I'm Deborah Henson-Conant, and I'm here because I am about to share a 5-day challenge for harp players that's all about something called vision music. It's music that is so simple to learn that you can then be free from the page and really think about expressing yourself with it. You'll literally learn 5 pieces in 5 days. And one of the reasons that it is called vision music is that you can use this music to help you vision your life. Some people use vision boards. Some people use writing. You can also use music to open up yourself to your own vision. Not a vision that you figure out, but a vision that you discover by playing. What I'm playing right now is the heart of the first movement. And that's what you learn on the first day. You learn how to just take these very simple elements and focus in on them and open them up using very simple compositional elements. I'm a composer, so I've been spending my life taking music apart, putting it together, finding all the little things that you can do to take any idea and expand it into music. And so what I'm doing in this 5-day challenge is, in a sense, giving you a little seed of music in each one of these days. And you can join by going to hipharp.com. That's hip as in cool, harp as in the instrument. So this is the first movement. The other thing that's really beautiful about this whole way of playing, or this particular suite, is that it takes you through a series of modes. And this is the mode. So the entire time your harp is tuned in C, but you're playing in different rhythms and using different modes of the harp. So I'll just quickly go through. The first movement uses this really beautiful little gesture along with, so this is a musical gesture, and once you know what that musical gesture is, you can turn it upside down, you can turn it backwards, you can embellish it, you can move it all over the place. So this is the gesture, but it's also, you can learn how to move it around. That's one part of it. The other part is just the alteration of these two different harmonies. And when you put those two ideas together, that opens up music, but without having to be like, okay, what are the notes here? And I move this here, and because it doesn't matter. You're exploring, you're discovering. This is what it means to compose, is to explore and to discover. And this is what it means to improvise, to explore and to discover. Now, a lot of times, oops, I put the wrong thing in the bottom there. This is not Young at Harp. Let me put this right thing here. Okay, here it is. Okay, here we go. The bottom is now correct. So this is a whole idea of taking compositional ideas and sharing them. You don't have to compose, you're using them. You can even just take part of it and use it, but you're not having to think about the notes. You're thinking about the shapes. This is a shape, doesn't matter where it is. This is one little idea, very simple, that you put in when you want. So this is the first movement. That's the first day. And as we're doing this, you're learning the music, but you're also learning to focus on your vision, how that fits into your mission in life, how that opens up into goals, and how you will then put that into action. So this is the beginning of a year. This is when I always do it. And what I wanted to do was take the whole idea of combining art and year planning. So some people will go out and buy a planner. Some people will go and make a vision board. Some people will do morning writing. This is the same concept, but it's with music. So the beauty of it is that you are practicing and you are getting comfortable playing and you are learning how to improvise as you are visioning, figuring out your goals, discovering the goals that go with them, coming up with the actions. You're doing these things together. And one of the things that's really beautiful about these, the suite that you learn in these 5 days, is that it's a beautiful suite, meaning it's 5 different things you learn in 5 days. You can put them all together. It could be a 2-minute suite. It could end up being a 10-minute suite. It could be a 20-minute suite. Because it's intuitive and built on motifs rather than something else, that allows you to use it however you want. So you can use it in therapeutic situations. You can use it in yoga situations. You can use it as background music. You can also create stories from it. You can use it when you're creating stories, even telling the story of your own life. So I'll just kind of go through the 5 movements. The first one is all about this. You can extend the bass, and I'm sure, so this is the same idea as this. It may look like different notes when you see them on the page, but when you're learning what they are compositionally, this is the same thing as this. This is an expanded version. It's like if you imagined if this put on a hat and red high heels, it would be this, kind of like that. So that's the first movement, and it uses the mode that starts on the F if you're playing in the key, if your harp is tuned in C. The second one is it's really fun. So the first one is called creating values. Or creative values. The second one is called vision, and it's really fun. You can do it. The bass goes A, and then G, and then F. But I mean, that sounds really simple, but here's what it can sound like. When you're playing the A, you play only the white strings of the harp. You come down, you do the same thing on G. You're very open. You can play in a very open way. You repeat that again. You can, once you learn to do it, you can really follow yourself. But after you do that, you play the F, and it opens up like a clearing in the clouds. Then you come back and do it again. You get to be expressive because you choose the notes that work for your hand. For example, there are times when I'm just comfortable playing with just 3 fingers, and you can do that here. Or just 1 finger of each hand. It's all about how there's a kind of a constraint in those 2, and then it opens up when you put the F in. So in a sense, it's all about the glorious things that happen with harmony. And that is something you can dream into. You can dream into. You can dream into this music. And then it opens up. And it comes back. So it's very simple to learn. It's just A, G, F. That's all you're doing. It's all you're doing with your bass, but you're exploring it. You're working with motifs. So that's all you're doing with the bass, and all you're doing with the right hand is just playing the white strings, the white strings, the white strings, the white strings, and then all the strings. And it creates this emotionality. Each of these has an emotionality to it as it moves forward and as it reconnects. So I just want to make sure that you sign up. In fact, I won't go through, I'll go through all of them sort of briefly just so you can see them. Just make sure that you sign up, because when you sign up, you get to come to the Vision Music Workshop, which is tomorrow on Sunday, and you get the entire 5-day challenge. So you will learn this whole thing in 5 days. And one of the things that's really fun about it is the way that it is broken into 5 days. So that means that each morning at 3:30 in the morning, I send out, your prompt for the day, and you get to actually see it, and you get a little training so you can do it. And then you share your discoveries and you share them with everybody else. At the end of the day, we pick a winner, and there are prizes every day. And then there's a grand prize winner at the end. And the beauty of that is that you get to share this with hundreds of other harpists from all around the world. You get to share the experience. You get to see the creativity that other people, what they're doing with this, not in a comparative way, like comparing and feeling bad about it, but in a way of the power of the community. The power of a creative community is that you are given something to play with, and you get to see how everybody else plays with it. And the level of learning and connection that happens when you get to see how other people are playing. I mean, as I'm saying this to you, I'm thinking, right, that's how monkeys learn. I mean, by seeing, I've got this thing, I'm playing with it in some way. Now I see how somebody else plays with it, and then I can try that. I see how somebody else plays with it, and I can try that. It expands the learning in such a powerful way. And this is what I love about learning community, creative learning community. And that's what happens in Hip Harp Academy. And that's what you will get a taste of in the 5-day challenge. That powerful experience. I can show you this stuff. It's great. And it's fun when I show it to you. But when you do it, and when you have a schedule that you're doing it on, you have a little bite-sized bits of it each day, when you're doing it and you're discovering with it and you're watching what other people discover, that is when it becomes this artistic explosion that you are part of. And what's beautiful about that is you're not part of it because I came up with the greatest idea, because that's not what it's about. What it's about is sharing what you discovered, whatever it is. And that is just as powerful, no matter what your technical level is. Who you are creatively has nothing to do with your technical ability. And that's why I love this challenge, because it lets everybody participate at your ability. If you only have 2 fingers, one on each hand, you can do that. And it can be absolutely gorgeous. You can put more fingers in. You can sing with it. I'm singing with this motif. I can sing what I feel. Or I can tell a story with it. I can dance with it. I could dance with it. And then do whatever I do as a dancer. It is a creative seed. Maybe that's what I should have called it. The creative seeds. Grow with the creative seeds. It is a creative seed. So I build songs, I build concertos, I build musical theater, I build operetta, I build song cycles. I build those things as a composer. I build them out of little motifs. And that's what I'm teaching you to do. I'm not teaching you to, do something big with them, but you can do what you can. You can do something tiny with them. You can do something intimate with them. They're creative. Each one is this little creative. Each is a creative possibility. So, for example, the third movement, which is called Mission, is kind of bluesy. And they all, your harp, doesn't even matter if you have levers, or if you play a keyboard, if you don't play a harp, you can do this with all the white keys of the piano. So the third movement of this suite, what you get on the third day, is there's a kind of epicness to it. Or you can add a bluesy aspect to it. You could even bend. And you can add a groove to it. I mean, you can take it anywhere, but it starts out very simple. And it's repetitive, not as in say the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, but as in say something more, find something more about it. What did I just say about that? How can I change the character of it? Not like I got to find a way to change the character of this, but as you play, as you get out of the mindset of like, I got to get this right, and you keep doing something, it turns into discovery. So it is music as discovery rather than music as gotta get this right. And that discovery opens up other possibilities, and you can use that. You can be in a state of musical creative discovery at any moment. You can be playing at a bedside and you can be in a moment of creative discovery. You can be in a concert and you can be in a moment of creative discovery. You could be playing with somebody else and you're in a moment of creative discovery. That's what you get from this challenge. The experience of what, how you can come down to the simplest forms so that you're not struggling with the technology of your hands or the harp or whatever. And I don't know if you've had this experience. Oh, and you know what? I just realized I can see the chat here. So let me see what you guys are saying. Beautiful. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Beautiful. Victoria said, I enjoyed this challenge so much last year. I recommend it. That's great. And I love doing these challenges over and over again because each time you get to do it at a deeper level. It's that whole thing about spiral learning. And it's true for spiral learning and spiral experiencing and spiral expression, that when you come back to it, you start to see things you didn't see before. So I showed you those first 3 movements. Again, they're moving to different modes. So if you're interested in learning more about modes, this is another great challenge because you're playing in all these different modes and you're playing a piece. It's a 5-part piece. I mean, you could play each one of them individually is really fun to play, but when you put them all together, you're creating a suite and the music has a connection. Each day has a connection to the other days. And you're also playing in all these different modes. So you get to kind of see how the modes fit together. So the third one is like, it's basically just this little left hand. And you can play it as fast or as slow as you want. That's the structure. But you can play literally any note up here. I had the G, I was playing with the G on the last one. So again, notice I am not looking at my right hand. It could literally play anything. So I start to learn, you start to get free of the notes. What's happening here is the left hand is creating a structure. It's like creating a scaffolding in time and in harmony. And literally anything you do with your right hand is going to sound fine. As you start getting more comfortable, you start actually being able to listen to what you're playing and play around with it. But literally, if you're, I'm just playing a scale. And I'm finding, my ear wants to kind of stop at a certain place at the end of each phrase, but literally you can play any note. And as you start getting more and more comfortable with it, you will start to be able to dance in that music. So that is the fourth movement. And for people who just got here, this is the 5-day Vision to Action Harp Challenge. There's a kickoff webinar tomorrow of live workshop on Sunday called Vision Music, where you'll get we'll get to be together, and we're going to be jumping into the 5-day challenge. And then the 5-day challenge starts on Monday. You get a different prompt each day. You get time to, I put it out at like 3:30 in the morning Eastern Standard, so everybody has time all throughout the day to play with it. And then you share it on the Facebook page, maybe even the Facebook page where you're watching this. It's the Harpists Who Dare Facebook page. And there are prizes. I love the prizes because I put all the names on this wheel, and then the wheel like spins, and then somebody wins the prize for the day, and then there's a grand prize at the end. But I think that the biggest prize is being part of it, is learning something simple that you immediately put in your hands, and then the incredible experience of getting to see how other people explored, discovered, and shared with that same idea. And then learning how to break that apart and being like, oh, I see, they did this. Well, I'm going to try that, because then everybody learns. As a community, everybody becomes richer. It's like a creative enrichment community is what it is. That's what's powerful to me. So let me take you to, so I just showed you the first movement. That's sort of the heart of it. It can go on and on and on. The second movement, I love it, where it's got this beautiful, I'm just playing the white strings until I get to here. I love that movement just because of the joy. Whenever I get to that one place, the joy of it. And the joy is happening because of the harmony, how you're building the harmony and where it opens up, where it's constrained and where it opens up. And Schlegboss says, I met you at Borders in Pittsburgh some 10 odd years ago. You rocked my world with a birthday song. Oh, I sing it for everyone on their birthday, although I'm an unreasonable facsimile. I love unreasonable facsimiles. Wow, great. And I can actually pull these up. This is so fun. Hello, Schlegboss. So I think Schlegboss must mean something musical. I'm pretty sure. And Victoria is saying, yes, discovery that opens up to other possibilities. And this is the incredible power of sharing. You know, we as musicians get into this mindset that's like, I have to get it perfect before I can share it. I have to impress, and it's got to be good, blah, 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 blah. When you get into a safe, creative sharing community, it's completely different. At that point, each share is not about, how did that person do it? Are they better than me? Or are they worse than me? You know, oh, that was dumb, or whatever. I'll never be that good. You know, all the stuff in your head. When you learn to see what is there and what that person is sharing that will liberate, inspire, and empower you, when you stop looking for, are they better or worse than me? Do I have to worry about this? When you get rid of that and you can say, what gem is this person sharing with me that will inspire, empower, or enrich my own playing and let me open my playing up? When we can get out of the fear of what we're not doing or whatever, everything that everyone shares becomes this incredible opportunity for learning and growth and enriching who we are through our playing, because people are sharing. And then it starts feeling so much more safe to share. So yes, that is the discovery. And Victoria says, this is such a brilliant way to explore creativity. I've never seen anything else like this. You know, it's interesting, Victoria. I haven't either. And it was a real discovery for me to create this challenge, because what I first set out to do was like, I want to help harpists, like me, set our years, find our goals, or, start with our vision, let it infuse our mission, let it go down into our goals, and finally into actions. And that was what the challenge was going to be about. And then I was like, but we need to do it with music. We need to be able to get there through either the fun or the meditative aspect of music. And we also need to be enriching and investing in our relationship with our instrument while we're doing it, so that we're not over there writing with a piece of paper when we could be making a personal relationship, having a personal relationship with our instrument. And then I started building each of these, but it had to be so simple. I was like, it has to be so simple. What they play has to be so simple. It can be learned in 30 seconds. And that's how I came up with this motivic improv. I'm not the first person to come up with motivic improv, I'm sure, but I've never been taught that. And it's just so incredibly rich. And since I did this challenge last year in Hip Harp Academy, we've started getting what we call snippets every week, so that people are learning to explore every week with new things. Let me just turn off. I want to make sure that I'm not going to be interrupted by any alerts. Lori is, here we go. Lori is saying, I love the Vision Challenge. This was my introduction to the Harp Academy. These skills improved my harp playing and gave me so much joy. Great. Looking forward to the challenge again. Yeah, me too. I just love the challenge. I love going in and seeing what everybody's discoveries are. It just blows me away. I mean, I've been playing music and writing and composing for, decades, and I am still blown away by your discoveries. And that is part of the beauty and richness of all of this. And Victoria is saying, the music got me to a meditative state, which really helped with getting that vision out of my head. Exactly. That is the point of it. That we're playing music that is so simple that we really can, and yet beautiful. And it can have musicality. And one of the things I loved last year, somebody said, well, I don't like that sound. I didn't like that. So I moved it down here. I think she said, right. She said, I moved it down a third because I didn't like the way it sounded. And I was like, yay, that's discovery. She got the shape. Once she got the shape, it was easy to move it to a different place. And now it's just a different feeling, and you could move it anywhere. So let me give you the very last, and I love it when you guys I love how we can actually engage here. I will go back to the caption and I will play you. And for anybody who's just joining us, I'm talking about the 5-day Vision to Action Harp Challenge, which you can do on other instruments. It's easiest to do on the piano. And if you're just starting to improvise on the piano, it's great because you use white keys only. And you don't have to, worry about, you'll learn the forms. They're like little dance forms or something like that. The last movement, which is called Completion and Reward, I love it. It's just 2 harmonies. I think it's... It's so simple. I mean, it's... your right hand is in a third and then it goes up to a second. Your left hand is in a second and it goes down to a third. But it's so beautiful. And it just repeats and it just feels like such an arrival. And you really learn the roles of music, the bass, the accompaniment, and the melody. And you really get the sense that the bass is playing and now You're sounding the harp, you're listening to that sound, and you're playing back to the harp. Or you're singing to yourself. The words you say are words you need to hear. Or you speak. It could be song, it could be speaking, it doesn't matter. Oh, and I see that it also changes. Oh, I see. Oh, this is a beautiful one. And then it goes back, if you want. So there's just so much here. It's so rich. What's rich to me about it is that it starts with something so simple. Each one is so simple. And the simplicity of it, and the fact that it is the essence of something, rather than rather than you seeing my interpretation of this idea, I'm giving you the essential creative idea. And when I give you the essential creative idea, it's very simple. And then it can expand. So if you have not already signed up for the 5-day Vision to Action Harp Challenge, harp or other instrument, if you wish. I don't know if you can do it. Of course, you could do it on a ukulele. You just have to try. And I'm one of those people who, I always wanted to do different things on the harp. And so all my life, I've worked with other instrumentalists. Like, teach me how to do what you're doing on the guitar, but I want to do it on the harp. How do I what are the changes that I need to make? How do I adapt that? Of course, if you play the harp, no problem. You're going to be learning directly from me. So if you have not already signed up for the 5-day Vision to Action Challenge, depending on where you're watching this, there should be a link in the post that you're watching. I'm going to go back to the chats for a second. You can also just go to hipharp.com and you will see a link to it right at the top. And Julia is saying, I just love your energy, Deborah. This sounds like such an incredible learning experience and a wonderful way to connect with fellow harpists during these strange and isolating times. And Julia, yes, it is. And this is one of the reasons I love it, is the sense of connection and joy. We're each doing something on our own. I love those composite videos where people put things together. Those are really beautiful. This is similar and different. You're learning the same thing, but each person is going to create something different out of it. And that joy of sharing that. And thank you so much, Julia. I love doing this. I get so inspired by it. And that's why I do it every year. So let me pull my caption back in, make sure everybody knows that you can sign up, and I'm off to a meeting. And I really look forward to seeing all of you starting tomorrow at the Vision Music live kickoff. And then that's on Sunday. If you can make it, great. If you can't, you'll get the replay. And then starting on Monday, every morning at 3:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, you will get the Vision Music, the Vision to Action prompt, and you'll have the whole day to do it. And then you can be part of the prizes, which are just fun, whether you win them or not. All right. I will hope to see every one of you there, and have a wonderful day. And make sure that you tell your friends, because it is so fun to do this kind of thing with other people. It's fun. You're going to meet people there, but it's also fun to bring your friends in, because then you can share your experiences in that way as well. Okay, everybody, I hope to see you starting tomorrow. And I'm going to end this now, and I will see you very, very soon. And remember, music is all about connection, not perfection. And I will be modeling that imperfection for you all the time.